All right, man. How's it going? My name is Danny. I'm just starting out with doing reactions on my own. So just a real quick introduction about myself. Um, I'm going to be taking more of a lyrical analysis, and that's going to be from a Christian perspective. I'm going to talk about what it was that happened, essentially, and I'll mention it here real quick before we begin with reacting to this song by Coldplay, which is called Talk. So back in 2017, I opened up the Bible for the first time. I wasn't raised to a particular religion or indoctrinated into anything. My mom and dad pretty much left it to myself and to my siblings to find Jesus on our own. And I eventually did. In 2017, I opened up the Bible and I began my journey by reading the book of Proverbs, and that's where my journey began. And not a little soon after that, I started looking at songs and music, right, in the secular world. And I started noticing that perhaps things are much more than what they appear to be. This was just my own analysis of it, right? I'm not here to incorporate my own thoughts or try to change yours. I'll just tell you how it is that I see it, and that's the beautiful thing about art is that two people could be looking at the same thing and they would be looking at, or they could say, different things about the art piece, that their minds wouldn't necessarily align. So I'm going to show you or to tell you what it is that I think, how it is that I see it, what's going on. Perhaps, it might just be that everything is meaningless and nothing has any meaning, or maybe there is just something more than what is implied. And so I think that's what's beautiful about things like this is that you start incorporating your faith, and for me it just affirms what I already know, and every day it just goes on like this. So I started looking at songs and I started looking at them and I said, is it possible that these guys are talking about something more than just meets the eye? Oh, you think it's a particular love song and it's to a girl or whatever, but in reality it's just taking on the perspective of Jesus, to his church, to his bride, or anything like that, right? And so this is where it began, and you could see this in like pop culture, like Terminator 2, the movie Judgment Day, for example. You have the savior, John Connor, and you take his initials and JC, right? And essentially you just get Jesus Christ, right? It's not obvious, but it is implied. And so this is where you start waking up, right? Or maybe the movie The Green Mile, right? John Coffey, the black guy who gets accused of killing little girls, and wrongly accused. He didn't do it, and he's a miracle worker in the movie, and even Tom Hanks, as actor role in there, he tells the character like, what am I to do when I go to heaven and God asks me, why did you kill one of my angels, right? That it was my job. He tells him like that was supposed to be my job, right? And so even that character, John Coffey, you take his initials, JC again, and so it's there. It is there. Again, I'm not trying to influence anybody. I'm not trying to change anybody's thoughts. But I'm pretty sure there are people like me, we're a few that we're seeing things, where other people have only looked, and we're listening to things where other people have only heard, right? And so my journey essentially began with this song. At that time that I was reading the Bible, I was really listening to this song by Coldplay. I've always been a Coldplay fan. I love Coldplay. I know they have a new album, and I need to check that out as well. Um, and I was listening to this song Talk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a lyrical. We're gonna dive into the lyrics. I love their music. They're a great band. I wish I could see them live. I hope I do get to see them live one day. Perhaps even play with them. Right? I am maybe a mediocre musician, right? But I do make an attempt. At the piano and acoustic guitar and stuff. So anyway, during this time, I went and I spoke with my dad, and I asked him, and I said, well, Dad, like, do you think that there's so much more than meets the eye? That things aren't just what they appear to be, but so much more than what they appear to be. And my dad says, well, what do you mean? And I tell him, well, like in lyrics or in songs, do you think perhaps that maybe the artist is trying to tell us more, but they can't tell you? It's like this is one thing that you gotta, just like me myself, you gotta come to it yourself. And I started telling him, what I think like these songs are about Jesus, and I think they're about God and stuff. And my dad just looks at me and he says, well, finally, right? That's all he tells me. He's just like, finally, right? And he tells me, he's like, check out this song, like by Boston, Peace of Mind, right? And maybe I'll do a reaction to that song as well. We can look at the lyrics and dive in there. But that's when I started noticing, like, okay, well, there is, there is something else out here. You can see the spirit moving. You can listen to the spirit moving. It's wonderful things. And so, again, this isn't an offense to anybody, right? If you're a particular Christian and you see things a certain way, to each his own. I am not here again to influence thought or to change ideas or anything like that. I'm just simply stating what it is that I see and what it is that I'm listening to, right? So anyway, without further ado, right, let's get into it. We have this song by Coldplay, which is called Talk, and it's a really great song. I'm gonna be pausing the video every now and then to look at the lyrics and analyze them, see what's going on, and see if we can make, if I can make, biblical comparison or anything like that. So let's begin.
I don't know what to do. Oh, brother, I can't believe it's true. I'm so scared about the future, and I wanna talk to you. Oh, I wanna talk to you.
All right, man, let's look at the lyrics right there. Right, so he says, "Oh brother, I can't get through. I've been trying hard to reach you 'cause I don't know what to do. Oh brother, I can't believe it's true. I'm so scared about the future, and I want to talk to you. Oh, I want to talk to you." So it sounds like somebody like this reminds me of like somebody in prayer, right? It's like, for the most part we pray, we're anxious about the future, right? That's how it mostly is, anxiety about the future, depression about the past. He says, "I've been trying hard to reach you because I don't know what to do. I'm so scared about the future, and I want to talk to you. Want to perhaps, talk to a higher power or something like that." And there's verses in the Bible where Jesus says, what more can you do? Why worry about the future? Oh, why worry about things? He's like, I think he tells people, he tells the crowd, like, essentially like, my father feeds the birds of the air. He's like, and then they don't worry. He's like, so how much more you? Are you not worth more than the birds of the air? Like, he's like, just believe, and have faith, right? So far it seems to me like this is setting up some kind of conversation, right? It's like he want to talk to somebody. He wants to talk to somebody. This person wants to talk to somebody, and that's what we see so far. So let's continue. Let's see where this goes.
You can take a picture of something you see. In the future, where will I be? You could climb a ladder up to the sun, or ride a solo body and song, or two.
All right, so it looks like, the initial question in the first parts of the lyrics was, that this person is scared about the future. They want to talk to somebody, right? And it looks like he gets a response, right? It looks like he gets an initial response, and this deity or person or whoever is saying, you can take a picture of something you see, right? You can take a picture, and so much more, right? When you take a picture of something that we look at, it's to hold on to that memory, That's what we would do that for, right? Hold on to the memory or anything like that. Take pictures so we remember the event. We can capture or reminisce about any particular event, right? But then the original person who opened up the lines is saying, in the future, where will I be, right? This was the whole thing. This whole thing was, that they wanted to talk to somebody because they were afraid about the future. So he asked the question again, in the future, where will I be, right? And one thing that's awesome about the English language is there's a lot of wordplay, and there's a lot of, I think they're called homophones or something like that, where words sound the same but are spelled differently. And so he comes back and says, you can climb a ladder up to the sun, right? And this is the sun, right, that gives energy to the plants and stuff, the light or whatever. But this is also a play on words because sun could also be S-O-N, and we don't know for sure. Here they spelled it S-U-N, right? Light sun. But what's awesome about stuff like this is that it could be either or, right? If you were just hearing this, you could climb a ladder up to the sun. Well, climbing a ladder up to the sun, right? Essentially reaching the heavens. So you could kind of see it there if you wanted to, right? And then he says, or write a song nobody has sung. I think in the book of Revelation, there's verses where it says, like, these 144,000, right, which hadn't defiled themselves with women, and women is the apostate church, right? Women is just a symbol for a church. But at that point, the defiled were apostate churches that only they know a song. Only they know a song that nobody else knows, and they're the ones who sing it, right? So he says, or write a song nobody has sung, or do something that's never been done, right? And unfortunately, we know that that's not true because I think it's in the book of Psalms. David is also acknowledges, like, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that already happened has already happened before. Everything that already has been before. He's like, there's nothing new. Everything that will happen has happened in the past already. So that's what's going on here so far. So let's see. This is just my interpretation again. Let's see where this goes.
Are you lost or incomplete? Do you feel like a puzzle you can't find your missing piece? Tell me how you feel. Well, I feel like they're talking in a language I don't speak.
Okay, so now we're getting into more profound stuff, right? So initially, all this began, right? A person or somebody was afraid about the future, right? Somebody answered the prayer. We wanted to talk to somebody. Somebody answered the prayer, and he said, you can take a picture of something you see, right? That person that was praying again, and I asked the question, in the future, where will I be? And that's how all this began. You can write a song nobody has sung, or do something that's never been done. You can climb a ladder up to the sun, all this stuff, right? And now it looks like the person who's answering the prayer is asking questions now. And it's saying, are you lost or incomplete? Right? Do you feel like a puzzle you can't find your missing piece? Tell me, how do you feel? Right? And then the person praying, it looks like says, well, I feel like they're talking in a language I don't speak. And they're talking it to me, right? And this could be Coldplay themselves, right? In the song itself, right? That perhaps they're trying to tell you about something else, about something more, but it's a language you don't understand because you want to use your own reasoning. You want to use your own logic. And so this flies by you because you wanted to use your own wisdom, if you will, as opposed to just listening right with the Spirit or something like that. And so he said, well, I feel like they're talking in a language I don't speak, and they're trying to tell me, but I don't speak this, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting how this could go, Let's see what happens.
So you take a picture of something you see. Where will I be? You could climb a ladder up to the sun, or write a song nobody had sung, or do something that's never been done. Do something that's never been done.
So right here again, right, it goes back to, so you take a picture of something you see. So before it was saying you can take a picture of something you see. So he says, so you take a picture of something you see, right? Of something you see, or something that's going on, right? A particular image or something. So something that is, fundamental in Christianity is the cross, The whole point of everything is that cross right there, right? So you take a picture of something, you see that memory, right? In the future, where will I be, right? Uh, this is a question of, you know, perhaps it's will I go to heaven or to hell, right? Maybe that's the fundamental question, that people have, where will I go, Comes back and says, you can climb a ladder up to the sun, or write a song nobody has sung, or do something. Now he's saying, or do something that's never been done. Do something that's never been done. Now, probably for the most part up to now, what hadn't been done was hiding Christianity in lyrics like this and claiming that you're not a Christian band or not coming out as a gospel group or something, right? This perhaps hadn't been done before, right? Nobody had thought about doing something like this, right? Coldplay has another song where it says, I'd rather be a comma than a full stop. Don't want to see another generation drop. So a comma, then a full stop in Britain, and over there, full stop is period, right? In our, sentence structures to end a sentence. A full stop is essentially period, right? So he'd rather be a comma, right, than a full stop, than see another generation drop. Now, that's another song. We can look at that later. So he's saying here, like, do something that's never been done. Perhaps Coldplay, right, taking on a role of maybe through my song, some people will wake up and some people will go to the truth, and I don't have to do anything. I don't have to upset the bounds or anything, This is just something that exists, and maybe some people will go to the light, right? So it's interesting so far, This is just, again, my interpretation. But let's see where this goes. Man, so it closes out with, so you don't know where you're going and you want to talk. This could be the question of heaven or hell, right? And you feel like you're going where you've been before, like all your efforts, everything that you've done, that you've tried to do before, where you yourself could think, right, perhaps if I do this, I can get to heaven or whatever. You tell anyone who'll listen, but you feel ignored. So these concepts and ideas, right? Try taking this to a psychiatrist, right? And they'll tell you that you're crazy. Well, they might tell you that you're crazy. Yeah. This has been my own personal experience. This is what has happened. They have flat out told me, you're delusional. This is the terms that they have used. Now, again, at all this, that it wouldn't surprise me, because you would be attacked for your faith, right? That you could be attacked by, Jesus said, they'll hate you for my name's sake. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not hurting anybody with these kind of ideas, right? But that a psychiatrist could tell you that, and come back with some kind of offense. You just already know, like, well, it's not me you're offending, but he who's working through me, right? Because me by myself, I'm dumb. I'm stupid, right? This is just my own personal assessment. Like, I am not capable of these thoughts on my own. I know that I'm not. It's something else that helps me see, something else that's letting me listen, right? So you tell anyone who listen, but you feel ignored. Nothing's really making any sense at all. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. That's what he says, right? So there's Bible verses that say, come, let us reason together, let's discuss. Let's discuss things, and so how much more, to talk directly like Job, to speak with God, in a sense, right? How much more that you would believe, or people have believed, without having any proof at all. But for me, this is my proof, right? That there's something else going on. And this just affirms it all the more for me. It just makes it right. It just tightens the bonds that I already know, exist there, for me. So it's a beautiful song. Again, perhaps this song is meaningless. It doesn't mean anything on the surface, right? Perhaps it could be something superficial, right? Oh, actually, well, this song is about, somebody who had an addiction, or whoever, might say in the comments, right? And I respect your opinions, and I really do. It's good to have multiple interpretations of things, This is how we build ideas, right? This is how we find out, how other people are seeing, right? And I can see through your eyes, and you can see through mine by watching a video like this, my particular breakdown analysis of this song. So it wouldn't necessarily be a reaction, right? But more of a lyrical breakdown of what it is that's going on and how I see it, right? So please, by all means, I'll respect your comments. Let me know what it is you think about this song. Not what Google says, not Googling what is this song about, or what did Coldplay say this song is about. No, let me know what you think, right? We want free thinkers here, right? What do you think that this song is about? Please post it in the comments, and I'll read your comments. That way I can see the way you see, and you, by watching this video, are able to see the way I see. Okay? Again, I'm not claiming that I'm right. I'm not claiming that I know everything. This is just me simply breaking down an artwork and just looking at it, examining it, studying it, and just sharing with it in love and in peace and everything, okay? So, until the next one, I'll see you all later. Thank you for checking out this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.